Hi again, everybody. Joe Kehoe here with LePage ProAlliance, always here to help you out with all your residential and commercial real estate needs in the Bay of Quinte, Prince Edward regions, and beyond. This week's video is going to be a high-level overview of whether you should purchase a resale property or buy vacant land and build your dream home. I'm going to be going over the pros and cons of each and some things you need to know when you're building. Let's get into it now. So for simplicity's sake, let's compare apples to apples. Let's compare buying a 1 acre vacant parcel of land versus buying a home on well and septic on a 1 acre parcel. The likelihood that you're buying a vacant lot in the city is probably relatively low. If you're building or doing some construction in the city, it's most likely an infill project where you're demoing an existing structure or you're adding on to something. So for simplicity's sake, let's just keep it rural today. So 3 main pros of buying a resale property. Timelines. You can see the house and close on it quickly. No deadlines with construction, no delays. You can move into it. You don't need to rent while you're building. Simple. 2, you can see the house in front of you. You can walk through it. You can envision yourself there. You're not going to be surprised with, I picked out this finish and it looks like this. You can see the finished product. 3, financing. You can get a simple residential mortgage with no construction jaws and no headache. Pros of building. There's 2 huge pros to building. Number 1, the obvious reason, you can make the home completely custom to you. You don't have to compromise on anything and can make this home exactly to your preferences. 2, you can act actually as the general contractor of the build. You can act as your own home builder, line up sub-trades. Maybe you're in the construction industry. Maybe you know a lot of people and you can get some friends in to do some favors who are in the trades. You can make instant equity on this build. Now, before you get too excited about building and become a home builder, let's go over some of the associated costs, timelines, deadlines, and headaches that go along with building. Here are some of the crucial components that you'll need to budget for when building a new home. Number 1, and most importantly, lot acquisition. You can budget anywhere from $100,000 to millions of dollars for your lot, depending on where the property is and where it's situated. So to put a number on this is so difficult, but this is going to be the most variable cost for sure. Permits. This is totally dependent on the municipality, but they can range from $10,000 to $30,000 for the permits to build your home, well, septic, etc. Septic. To put in a new septic system can be from $20,000 to $30,000. Well, to drill a new well, you're going to have to budget for $10,000. Hydro connections. These can vary drastically. Assuming there's hydro on the street and you don't have to pay for another transformer or multiple poles, let's budget $5,000 to $10,000 for hydro hookups. Driveway and culvert. That can be another expensive thing. Let's budget $5,000 for your driveway and culvert. Fill. This is taking fill out of the site or putting fill into the site. You're going to have to budget for clean fill being taken away or put into your site. This can vary so much, so to put a number on this is very difficult. Cost per square foot of actually constructing your house. So this obviously varies drastically depending on finishes, if you have a walkout basement, if you have an unfinished basement. Let's say $200 to $300 a square foot, depending on finishes. Obviously, this can get higher and higher and higher the higher end finishes you go. Financing. Financing is not as straightforward as getting a residential mortgage on a property. Construction loans are most of the time done in draws, where you have inspectors come, look at the progress of your property, and then give you more money to your draw. Sometimes the lender can hold these draws, which will halt your construction and delay your project. Finally, speaking of delays, your project is going to get delayed. You have to budget for these delays, budget your time, and budget your accommodations, more importantly. Do you have a place to live while you're constructing this home? Because it's likely going to be a 1 to 2 year process. Now, obviously, there's a lot more intricacies and details that go into building a home, but hopefully this gave you a high-level overview of things you can expect if you're thinking of building versus buying resale. As always, please feel free to reach out with any questions you have. All my info is in the description below. I would be happy to chat. Hopefully you found this video informative, and see you next week.